Hey everyone, Tom here from Hit Parade, and we have a very special guest, Mr. Main Event, the busiest man in the room every time you walk into the show. Good luck trying to get us to his table because it's five deep. Terrance from Chicago. How you doing, Terrance?
Feeling good. Good. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming out here. For people who don't know you, let's start out with tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got started in the industry.
Well, I started collecting cards when I was young. I want to date myself now, but a local card shop used to pay us to go around and get Dwight Gooden rookies. So we would drive all over the city, spending our quarters and 50 cents to buy
So for
packs.
anyone who doesn't know, Dwight Gooden pitched in 1962.
The greatest pitcher ever. I think so too.
All right.
And
the
then so
80s.
I would buy the cards and come back and sell them to him. So my first introduction to the business was selling cards. So that kind of approached how I approach the business kind of deal.
Okay.
The hobby, I should say.
So let's start from back then.
Mhm.
Card industry then to now. How different is it?
I think over the years it seemed to be, I don't know, more fun. Back then it was more about collecting. Now with the numbers, I mean, this last year has been the best year ever for cards. And so now, I mean, as soon as you open a box, the cards are worth thousands.
Yeah.
And you can pull like life-changing pulls out of a box now. Well, back then you could pull something cool, but now you can pull something that can buy you a house or a car out of one pull. So, but it's also more fun because almost everything is valuable now. So that's a cool thing about it.
Yeah. And you definitely hit the head on the nail there, the nail on the head. That's how it goes.
Mm.
It has definitely become something that is more than just a collecting hobby, where everyone before had their favorite players, their teams they collected, or they
Yes.
collected sets. There's a lot more investment aspect to it now.
Definitely. Even the guys I know who like collect the Jordan, LeBrons, and Acunas, they're always thinking eventually I'll sell it.
Yeah.
They're going, it's not, it seemed like a long time ago people would collect and say, I'm going to hold this guy forever because he's my favorite player. Now it's like, I'm going to hold this guy until he wins his 17 championships. I'm going to max out. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So going back to buys you've done, is there any single card you have gotten or any deal that stands out to you that like you still remember to this day, like was just that deal?
The coolest card I would say recently, I bought the 97 game jersey.
Okay.
And so like if you've been in the hobby long enough, that's kind of like to me the holy grail of cards. It was the first card that everybody wanted, either whether you could afford it or not. And back then I just couldn't afford it. So to buy it now, it was just awesome. So I haven't sold it. I think when I'm at shows, I'm asking a crazy amount because I don't want to get rid of
Yeah.
it. But
Until that one guy says, yes, I'll pay it.
yes. But right now it defines me. So so I kind of want to keep it, but that's probably the coolest thing. I mean, I buy a lot of stuff. I like anything 90s. The old stuff is really
Yeah.
cool. The stuff that you don't see very often.
Yeah, and it's cool that the junk wax era, as they call it, is
Yes.
definitely starting to make a comeback. And you can see those
100%.
cards, rookies from the 90s, your Shaquille O'Neals, your Tim Duncans, stuff like that are starting to become more valuable, which I think they should be.
100%. It was hard this last couple of years when you see like the Lucas and the Giannis just go crazy, and then you look back and you think, why isn't Duncan more than Giannis? I mean, like the greatest, one of the greatest players ever, or the Shaq. Yeah.
Because Duncan was boring.
He was.
He was one of the greatest players ever to play
Yes.
the game. But he was no flash. He was
That's true.
Mr. Fundamental for a
Yes.
reason.
Like he would lay it up instead of dunk.
Yeah.
But like the Shaqs, the flashy players, well, Kobe with 2 errors.
Yes.
Kobe with 2 errors, but I was always shocked, like when you see up until recently, Luka was 1,000, Tim Duncan was 200. Now they're kind of caught up.
Yeah.
They're kind of balanced out now.
All right. So talking about shows a little bit,
Okay.
for someone who's either new to a hobby
Mhm.
or maybe they got in the hobby a year ago and
Mhm.
haven't been able to go to a show with COVID and everything.
Mhm.
Do you have any advice for somebody going to their first show?
Have fun. Don't get overwhelmed. It can be overwhelming with with the prices. You look at something that you think is not worth something, and then you ask, and someone says 10,000. Then you kind of get frustrated. The cool thing about this hobby, you can buy a hoop rookie and still get a good rookie.
Yeah.
And if you can't afford the silver prism rookie of that guy. but have fun with it. Buy stuff you like. I mean, I always tell people if you buy something you like, you're not disappointed if it goes down.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't go up or take off.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
I can say my first show ever was a national.
Okay.
I came over from the memorabilia side.
Okay.
And my first show was a national, and I was amazed. Even knowing how big the card industry was then, I was still amazed walking on that show floor, just how many cards there are, how many people.
Yeah.
It can be quite overwhelming sometimes.
And national sometimes overwhelming for me. Because you look and you're like, okay, there's so many aisles, so many cards to look at. And
how do you get to every table?
You can't. And I try. I try because I'm always thinking there's something I'm missing, but there's so many tables, so it can be overwhelming. Even the small shows can be overwhelming sometimes.
Yeah.
So.
All right, let's transition. Let's talk some NBA. We got the playoffs going on. I know that we're gonna butt heads on a couple of these guys here.
Okay.
But who do you think is gonna go to the Western Conference Finals?
I believe the Lakers because of match. I'm a matchup guy.
Okay.
I think the Clippers are a strong team, but they're missing something. I don't know what it is, but
Paul George's game.
Yes. And they should not have got rid of Lou Williams.
Yeah.
I understand they had to do it for chemistry, but they shouldn't have got rid of Lou Williams. They just gave up 20 points. Yeah. I think it's going to be the Lakers and Denver.
Okay.
I still think even without Jamal Murray, Jokic is Jokic. And then in the East, I mean, Brooklyn's going to win every game by 20 points.
So I am going to go against you with the Lakers.
Yeah.
I don't think the way they are currently playing that they can go and beat the Sun and then go up and beat the Jazz. I think drawing the 7th seed and having to knock off the 2 top teams in the West to get to the finals is going to be too tough for them to do.
See, and I guess I'm of that theory. I don't believe with an even team, no team can beat LeBron 7 games.
It happens all the time.
That happens like once in the last 8 years. So 3 times in the last 8 years. I mean, they lose in the finals.
Yeah, okay.
Well, we're talking short of they didn't miss the playoff last year. How many times has LeBron lost in the 7-game series? Finals. Then he came back 3-1.
But that's a different LeBron. Listen, he is not 100% right now.
No.
But and Anthony Davis, if he didn't shoot 38 foul shots in game 2, probably has 20 points, if that, and they probably lose that game.
But he gets those shots because Phoenix
because of the referees.
Yes. Oh, you got to factor that. Don't touch the talent. See, I believe in that. You don't touch the talent. When Jordan playing, you touch him, you get a foul. You can't touch the talent. You can't do that. I just think that the teams that are missing something. Now I do think when they run up against the Brooklyn, I think it's gonna be, but I think Utah and Denver and Phoenix were built for the regular season.
Okay. So I think mine in the West, I think the Jazz are gonna come out. I think the Jazz.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
Long as Donovan Mitchell comes back and he's healthy.
Yeah.
He's got to be 100%.
Ankle injury, right? Ankle.
Yeah.
Okay.
So long as he comes back healthy, I think they're going to the finals. And I'm going to go with my boy Luka. I think they beat the Clippers, and then
I'm beating the Clippers.
And then if LeBron beats the Suns, they're going to grab either Portland or Denver.
Okay.
And I think without Jamal Murray, I think Mavericks can beat Denver. And I think as good as Lillard is, I think that I got the Mavs. I got my boy Luka.
Okay, so be honest. Luka versus the Lakers. Do you think they have a chance?
Am I picking with my brain or my heart? My heart says yes. My brain says
okay.
No.
All right. Because I think when Anthony Davis takes Porzingis out the game.
Yeah,
I think that's the matchup the Lakers have now. Because they have Davis, there's no big man that can hang with Davis on a course of a 7-game series.
Yeah, as much as I'd like the unicorn, aka Porzingis, to be that number 2 option, until they get a legit number 2 with Luka, they're not going to beat the Lakers. I don't think they win the finals.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with my boy Lillard, who I absolutely love,
Mhm.
until they get a big man who can compete with the other big mans like an
That's
Anthony
true.
Davis or Jokic. I don't think that they can, they'll win a series or two possibly, but I don't think they have enough
Yeah.
to make a run.
Because last year when they played Denver, Davis was killing Jokic.
Yeah.
I mean, like just doing them. I mean,
Yeah.
after the third quarter, I just felt bad for Jokic. I'm like, okay, look, you're doing the best you can. This is
Yeah.
but that's why I think, and I actually think Drummond and Schroeder are going to help bigger than people think.
Yeah.
I think those to get Schroeder who can score and Drummond who can get those offensive rebounds. I think that's going to make a big difference.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
then I agree with you in the East. I'd be
Mhm.
shocked if it's not the Nets versus
Yes,
the 76ers.
I'm rooting against them because I also don't like Durant either. You
See,
know?
I like Durant.
Yeah.
Once again,
Mhm.
as someone who despises LeBron because of the decision, as someone who doesn't like the super teams, and watching Durant go from OKC, which could have been a super team if they kept everything together,
Mhm.
to Golden State, to then going to Brooklyn for this super team. It pains me because I like Durant.
But see, I'm the opposite. I'm okay with a super team for this reason. I believe bad management. I believe there's GMs who all they care about is they fill out the stadium. I don't care if we compete or not. I think that I like the players have control. I mean, what the Clippers did last year was kind of shady. I mean, they kind of played a couple of teams, but I do believe now the players have, sadly, they have, well, not sadly, equal footing with the owners.
Yeah.
They can build a team.
Yeah, and I definitely agree that it's nice that the players do have more power now. But I do miss the good old days of, Jordan versus Bird.
Oh, yeah.
Jordan versus Magic, Bird versus Magic. These guys that play on the same teams and just had those iconic matchups for years.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna open up a box here of Hit Parade.
Okay.
We're gonna give it away.
Okay.
So we have this nice, pretty box right here. It is 2021 Graded Football Edition Series 7. So in this box here is going to be a graded rookie of someone in the NFL. Anything from current guys, you got your Burrow, your Herbert, all the way back to, Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Dan Marino.
okay.
So you got a good spread there, but it's going to be a rookie. It's going to be graded.
Okay.
So we'll have you open this up.
Okay. This is fancy.
Yeah, you're using the wrong end of the knife there.
Oh, okay. I went to public school.
Let me help you out. No, let me help you out here.
All right. Oh, okay.
There you
Yeah.
go.
That's what public school went to. I didn't go to one of those private schools. They taught box color classes. Oh,
Yeah. So you should be able to just rip that plastic off. All right, let's see what we got here. And here comes the reveal. Let's hope it's Josh Allen.
Ooh. Lamar Jackson.
Okay, so
Blue.
the second best quarterback in that rookie class there.
Okay. Crusade was getting close. Oh, you got.
I got Josh Allen. He's obviously number one.
I forgot we're in Buffalo. Okay. This is a sweet card, actually. Josh Jackson Crusade Blue, PSA 10. Nice pricey piece right there.
So what's your thoughts on Lamar Jackson? You Lamar Jackson guy?
I am.
So I feel like he is a very polarizing figure in the NFL and in the hobby.
He is, and he's exciting. I think they're going to build a good team around him.
Yeah.
A lot of times when you have running quarterbacks, you just get players. You don't really like build around them. But I think like Baltimore is trying to get players around them. But I like him. Him, Josh Allen. Those are my three.
My concern with him, which hasn't been an issue yet, was with him being a little bit smaller and the way he runs. I was worried that he was going to be a little bit of an RG3.
When I get hurt?
Get hurt, just taking big hits with his frame. That if he loses that explosiveness, that takes away a lot of the threat of him running, doing that.
I hear that argument all the time, and I saw a stat once that quarterbacks get hurt in the pocket throwing. This drop back quarterback get hurt in the pocket more than they hit when they run.
Because none of them run. Tom Brady's never going to get hurt when he runs because he runs 3 yards and falls down.
He's gotten hurt. He
Yeah,
got hurt,
in the pocket, yeah.
you know. But I think that
Drew Brees would run 2 yards and just fall forward.
I think. Well, I mean, Mahomes was a running quarterback, but he really wasn't. He kind of slowed down. I think that he's been a winner since he's been in the league. And to me, I mean, only one team can win a championship.
Yeah.
And they're probably going to be Mahomes for the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, the AFC is going to pretty much go through Buffalo and then Kansas City for the next 10 years.
You know, so I can't wait for those bets. We're gonna have to do a lifetime bet: Kansas City versus Buffalo.
Starting today, you get the one that they already got. That one doesn't count.
Okay. But no, this is an awesome pool. It's an awesome pool for what's in. And this will be our giveaway.
Yep, that'll be our giveaway. So I think that's about it today.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming by.
Whoever wins it, I will buy this card.
So Terrance, thanks for taking the time to come.
Thank you very much
with us today. And everyone, thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk again soon.